guys, and welcome to the second part of our tutorial. So we started out in the first video by trying to make a REST API that returns the list of Nigerian universities and the courses they have to offer. Alright, yeah, so in the first video we were able to like install Express and some dependencies, so you could easily come into the package.json folder to like know the dependencies that you have installed on your project so far. All right, so and also we were able to write our first API route, which just tells us the API is now live. Okay, so we were able to structure our folder. Like I said, we have our controller folder, we have our routes folder, and we have our data folder. All right, so what we are doing is whatever name we use for the controller, we try to replicate the same name for the router as well, so that we could be able to easily trace the application. When there's an error at any point, we could know that, oh, if there's an error in this router, then the issue has to come from this controller. All right, so in this video today we are going to be creating the API that fetches us the list of university. So since we are not yet connected to a database, what we are doing is that we are going to be using the static JSON data that stores those university lists. All right, so how did I get the list of this university? You can just pause this video and then quickly go to Meta AI and type this query. So this is the query I used. So I said I just told Meta AI, I said generate a list of Nigerian universities using the following pattern. So I didn't give it the number of universities to generate. I just said it should generate the list of Nigerian universities for me. So I'm going to paste this query in case I upload this to GitHub. Yeah. Okay, so now I am going to export this list of universities by saying module.export unit data. Okay, so immediately you've done that, you then head over to your controller and create a new controller. So let's call it let's call this new controller, let's call it uni controller. Let's call it unicontroller.js. Okay, so this is unicontroller.js, but so we work very fast. Let's come to our test controller. It's going to be the same thing. So let's say Ctrl C and Ctrl V, but this time around there's going to be a difference. So I'm going to say const uni data equals require data unit data. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to say to enable some kind of security checks to make sure that there's actually data. So I'm going to say const get data equals to, I want us to maintain a particular convention. So I'll say get data equals to unit data. Okay, so I can say if get data dot length is greater than 0, I would say return response.json message list of SCH schools in Nigeria, and I'll say okay, I'll say the data is equals to get data, and then I will now come to say else, or better still, to reduce the line of code I don't need to put else, because I already have an if statement and I have a return statement. So if this is positive, the application is going to end here returning the data. So I'll just say rest.json return, sorry, there has to be return rest.json. I would say message no data, no data. Okay, yeah, so this works. So I have, if this is positive, Yeah, that means the length of data coming is greater than 0. I'll say return response on JSON list of schools and then show us the list of schools. Else I'll say just okay, so still return something anyways, but then let it be no data. Okay, so once this controller action has been created, we need to create a route for it. And the default HTTP verb we are going to be using will be a get HTTP verb. So I'll head over to the test API controller. I can copy it and I would say I want to create another controller, so I'll call it uni routes uniroutes.js. Okay, uniroutes.js. Okay, and I'll paste that in for speed. But then this time around we are not going to be requesting from test API. Oh, we still, sorry, this is one of the issues with copy and pasting. So sorry, so let's not call it test API because it's not test API. Let's say get uni list. Okay, yeah. So if you are copying and pasting, you have to be very careful as well. So we called it get uni list. Okay, so let's copy this. So let's say get uni list from controller uni controller. Okay, so it is router get as well, but this time around let's not call it hello. Let's say list of schools. Let's say list of schools. So let's change this to list of schools for consistency. Okay, so and then we know it's not STPI obviously. So let's say get unit list. Okay, all right. So that's that. So we have created a get method for the router to, like, whenever this list of schools is called with the full URL, it will return the list of schools in the uni list for us. So now the only thing we need to do now after this is that we need to make sure this router that we just created, this uni route, is added to our entry point for all routes, which is index.js. So coming to index.js. Okay, so okay, I think I was okay. I think I actually created I created the uni routes here already because I was practicing before I recorded the video. But let me just do it again so you know what I did. So what I did was to just say const the name of the file that houses the router is uni route, and where can it be found? It is equal to require uni route. Okay, so I could copy and paste to make my work fast. So I'll copy and paste. I'll say test API. I'll say uni route. This is one of the sweetest way that you could create REST API with Express. The level of consistency is high, very high. All the routes within the application are defined, then they are called at the entry point. So this way you know where to, like, how to trace your application if there's an error. So now I'm going to do nodemon to see. Oops, nodemon is up, but it's saying there is an error. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. So what is the error? It said routes to get require a callback function. Well, cut. Okay. I think I know where that might be coming from. So let me save that again. Let's see what happens. Okay. All right. Let me save that again. So what was the error before? Okay, the error must be an error before now. But let's just go back through what we have done. So we created a unique controller. So this is our unique controller. It is getting unique data, which is the array that we created. So okay, we said module exports get unit lists async correct. Okay, we said const get data is unique data. Okay, return response. Okay, right. Okay, that's fine. That's actually fine. That's fine. So let's go back to the uni route. Okay, so we said the uni route is router.get list of schools get uni list. Yeah, this is fine as well. We should not have an error. We should not have an error. So now when I open my postman, Okay, so we already have. Okay, so now let me duplicate this. I like smart work, and I'm going to rename it. I'll say list of SCHOOLs, list of schools. So when I say list of schools, what is the API link? So this is the API link. So if I copy it, so for advanced Postman users, if you know how to use Postman very well, since this is like the default route, you could just make it into a variable by doing something like this. You could like make it a variable. Yeah, but don't let me divert to that. That'll be another tutorial. So okay, so when I do this now and I click on send, ta-da! That's it. You just wrote your first API if you're able to get to this point with me. So now when this API link is shared with anybody, if it is hosted or not on localhost, you would like have this API that could be used to build a front-end application that displays this code. So I think one thing that you could actually do if you're willing to like take it a step forward is to add maybe the logo of these universities and then more information. Yeah, but I think that would be it for this tutorial. And in the next tutorial, I'm going to proceed to explaining how to pass parameters in such a way that, okay, maybe someone is trying to search for Nigerian universities that their name begin with O. How do we achieve all those kind of functionalities? How do we get just one particular university by ID and all that? So I'll be explaining that in the next video. Please, if you like this video, it will not do you any harm to subscribe. And then if you have a question for me, please make sure to like post your question in the comment section. Thank you very much. Thank you. And the next video will be dropping soon. Thank you guys. Bye.